Connection, you're live now.
Hi guys, welcome to Louise. So everybody's been wanting to know what the floor plan of Miss Louise is, so we figured while we're all sitting around waiting for the zombie apocalypse,
Come on out.
wait on the zombie apocalypse and wishing we paid more attention to the doomsday preppers, we would give you a walkthrough of the house so you can see what her floor plan actually is. So come on inside, neighbor. So here is her grand hall. What we see here is basically a classic Greek Revival 4/4 with a central hall. And what is really interesting about that is we really do think that Louise was built around 1840, 1850. Did you get us just 1 second? Sure. Yeah, okay. We're going to do this first, and then we're going to walk some actual people through. Okay? Sorry, we have so many people who are really excited about this. So we have a 4/4 Greek Revival plan. So we have the grand entryway, which you can see this would be the entrance into the home that everybody saw when they first came in. So you have the gorgeous well-cut glass over the door. You have these gorgeous frames around the windows, the glass that you guys have seen online, the beautiful flying staircase, and the gorgeous plasterwork. So as you can see, during this time period, this would have been to impress people who came in the front door. We really do suspect that Louise was built early, around 1850, and that when Mr. Land in 1870, he gave her a trendy facelift, a trendy update. So she would have gotten a Greek Revival update then. So once you come in the front door, you have your two parlors. Your formal parlor, which is this way. And we know this is the formal public parlor because of the beautiful plasterwork cornices that we have. And there would have been a plaster medallion in this room as well, which would have been very impressive. And it'll be back. We just have to find it. And the formal mantle that we have on this corner with its gorgeous colored tile. Now, the mantle, the thing in here that's really interesting is the mantle, I think, is earlier than the tile work. The mantle, the shape of this mantle, the form of this mantle is either around 1850 or around 1910. Well, we know it's not 1910. We know it's not a Greek revival, so we really think the mantle itself is a little bit older. And here's another little clue. I don't know if you can see that or not. But the white paint is chipping away, and we can see a gorgeous dark green underneath there, which is a very, very, very popular color in the 1850s. So we think this may be an original mantle to the early period of the house. And then in the 1870s, they came in and put this trendy new tile into the firebox. So we have a little bit of both periods here. So this is where if you had come to call on Mr. and Mrs. Little, they would have taken your card and you would have been brought into this room to see the family for your formal meeting. So now we'll go across the hall to the other side of the house. And this is the family's parlor, or probably the ladies' parlor as well. So this is where the family would have gathered, not to receive guests, so we know that because the beautiful ornate cornices are missing in this room. There aren't any, there never were any. There might have been a ceiling medallion, but there's not one now, and even if there was one, it would have been very modest. This is probably also the ladies' parlor, where the ladies would have retired after dinner to do their gossiping and talking about what Cindy Lou up the street was doing with who and who she was doing it with. And the gentlemen would have gathered across the hall to drink port and smoke their cigars and do all those things that guys do, back slapping and talking about the cricket match or whatever they talked about, whatever sport they talked about.
The tile.
This tile has been painted over with this gorgeous color of green that's everywhere in this room. But you can see we're starting to get that paint off, and we've got gorgeous white glazed tiles underneath there. So a simpler pattern, but another gorgeous Victorian tile. And they're all present. They're all extant. Nothing's missing. We're really, really excited about that. So we'll go back out into the main hall so you can get a real feel for how the house flows. And we'll go down the hall to the dining room, which is my favorite room in the house, even though right now it's absolutely terrifying. So this is the family's dining room. And as you can see, it's another very formal room because it would have been used for entertaining guests as well. We have this gorgeous mantle, another potentially very early mantle. We're anxious to kind of do some more research, dig into this and see what period this appears to be. And then we have this lovely raised panel wainscoting all the way around the room. We'll be doing a lot of work to get this pea green paint off these gorgeous panels pretty soon. But this is the room where our medallion hides, and it's hanging up here in the ceiling. And it's a feast medallion. So because this is the dining room, you see a feast scene. So you have game birds, you have fruits, you have basically, it's almost a Horn of Plenty theme on the ceiling. And then I don't know if you'll be able to see, but the cornices are also Horn of Plenty themed with fruits. Got a lot of it missing. We're gonna have to have a lot redone. There's been extreme extensive water damage in this room. So we're gonna have to have a lot of that 3D scanned and replaced, but it's gonna be done later rather than sooner, but that's the most important part of the restoration of this room for sure. Part of our plan today probably is we're gonna build the scaffolding to support the medallion. So to make sure that as we're doing demo, and as we're pulling all these things out, that medallion doesn't fall. And if it does fall, it has a nice cushy place on which to land because we want to keep it safe, 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 safe. So that's the dining room. So you guys come with me. We'll see across the hall. There were lots of questions about this room because it is kind of a strange door underneath the stairs. But this would have been the family's either music room or possibly library. We don't have any bookcases surviving, so I almost think it's probably a study or a music room for the family. This is the place in the house where we have our one working jib door, and these are amazing. I'm gonna see if I can work it. I don't know if I can or not, but it's a jib door that's a box head door. So you can see how tall this door is. I'm 5'7". I'm not short, and look how tiny I look compared to this window. But look at the amazing thing it does. It actually goes up into the wall, which I think is incredible. And the reason for this is so I can go outside through my window. Here I am. Inside, outside. And the reason they did this, most of you guys know because you're old home lovers, is because in the period that these houses were built, homes were taxed on the number of doors that they had. So this was a great way to give you a door without paying the tax. And we all know that we want to avoid that tax man as often as we can. So that's not a new concept by any stretch. So this is our one working window, but we have 14 of them, and we're going to be getting all 14 of them repaired. All right, there's more room. This house is big, y'all. So this would have been an open breezeway. And we're going into what is the oldest part of the house. This is another huge room. This is the room with the wonderful little mystery door and drawers that you guys have seen. We have a very, very early mantle in this room. This is definitely an 1840s, 50s period mantle. And the really exciting thing about this part of the house and this room is that it has hand-hewn beams underneath it. They're exposed in some areas, and you can actually see the hand cuts on the timber. So we love that. We don't know when it was built yet. We plan to find out, and we will share those revelations with you as they come. This is just some kind of weird fiberboard that they put over this great beadboard. So we'll be pulling all this off and exposing it. This is a wonderful room, and we hope eventually this will be the master bedroom bathroom suite. Can you see it? I can see it. One more room downstairs. This is the back door, the back hall, so that when you open the front door and you open the back door, this is 18th century, 19th century, early 20th century air conditioning. You open the front door, you open the back door, and you have this great flying staircase that goes up. Well, right now it goes up to outside, but normally it would just go up to the second floor. And it would have created an incredible airflow through the house. And it's still doing it. It was 85 degrees here on Friday, Saturday, and we were outside and it was hot and we were sweaty and it was disgusting and we were sticky, and we walked around the corner and the air was just flowing out of the front door like it was air conditioning. It was amazing. And of course right now there's not even any electricity, so you know we don't have any air conditioning in here. This is a later addition to the house. It's a later L to the house. This would have been the butler's pantry. We've got these incredible cabinets that everybody loves. Don't worry, they're staying. We're going to have them refinished. They may stay in here. They may go into the actual kitchen once we're done with it. but we love them. And then we have the kitchen. Kind of the grossest room in the house right now. Because of the things we found in here, I'm not even going to tell you what it was. These cabinets are incredible. Look at this great scene. Love it. Oh, look, there's green stamps. S&H green stamps. You all remember going to the green stamp store? It was my favorite when I was little. So the sink will stay, and we'll redo this kitchen. We're going to keep it to the period, though. You're not going to see some big, crazy, modern kitchen in this house. I think this house is going to be modern. We don't do modern houses that were started in 1850 and completed in 1870. It'll be very period appropriate. So we're going to run upstairs really quickly. So you'll see the stairs are wide and not very tall. And that was, of course, because we have ladies in big skirts having to come down these stairs. So they have to be easy to maneuver. The banister is short because people are short. But it's in amazing shape. You guys wouldn't believe how beautiful this is. We were really worried that this banister was going to have sustained a lot of damage from the water. And this is where the water has been coming in the very, very worst. And it's really still in great shape. So we're going to be able to preserve that. Going to strip all of these banisters. We're only missing one of the spindles. So we'll just have to have one of those replaced. More center hall design upstairs. Big, huge hall for lots of good airflow. There's one of our gorgeous dormers. And on each side of this hallway are 2 bedrooms. They're all very similar, so we'll just take a look at one of them. This is the room with the worst damage. Now, you guys remember the video that we posted the other day of the water just flowing in downstairs and everybody thought it was rain? No, it was a good buddy of ours came up here to drain out the pond and thought it would be easier to move the pond closer to the window, and when I did, it just spilled everywhere. So, this water, which I like to call our typhoid water, flew right down through the floor and into that study area. But that's okay, no problem. So we have people coming up the stairs right now. I hear more people in the house. It's a little bit hard right now to get some moments of quiet to just share all this with you guys because we have lots of people coming through the house. Hey.
Your husband, I have a question for you. I need to show you something.
1 second.
All right,
Okay.
I'm gonna be on
Can you
back.
give me like 10 minutes?
Yeah, I'll be on back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. See, we have lots going on. We've got lots of workers that'll have questions. So that's why I'm usually much more relaxed and calm on camera than this, but I got so much going on today I can't relax. I'm very, very tense because there's 52 people in this house and somebody's gonna fall through the floor. I know it's gonna happen. I see it coming. So y'all just pray that this floor holds up while we have workmen in here. Anyway, this is gonna be one of our gorgeous bedrooms. We'll be doing bathrooms in each of the bedrooms. We're very fortunate that this house has huge closet spaces in each of the bedrooms. And so we can utilize some of this space to create bathrooms. There's only one original bathroom, and I say original air quotes up here. And this is the one place we have some sagging, real sagging in the house is right here. And unfortunately, this is right over that gorgeous medallion in the dining room. So we're gonna have to work really, really hard to support this floor without hurting our medallion that we love so much. There's a bathroom. It's disgusting. I'm not gonna show it to you. Here's our back bedroom with our glorious wisteria in here. I wish you had smell-o-vision right now because it smells so good. This house has been used for years as a boarding house. So 2 of the bedrooms actually have little kitchenettes in them. Can you imagine this house being broken up into a boarding house? It seems like a crime against God and man to me, but that's how it's been used for a long, long time. So we'll be pulling these out today. Oh, so much work, you guys. So much work. That's why knowing that you love this house as much as we do and are supporting the work is amazing, because without that love and support, I might just lay on the floor and cry right now. And here is the terror of 702 Mulberry right here. This is where the worst water intrusion is. It's been coming in, from what we can tell, from what we know, for about the last 20 years we've had water intrusion. Now, I want you to see how thick these floorboards are. Can you show them how thick the floorboards are? One of the reasons there's not more structural damage to this house is because the timber used in these floors is about 2 inches thick. So even though there has been copious amounts of water flowing into this house for all these years, these floors are still fairly solid. We're so fortunate that this wood, and there was a vinyl floor cloth over this, which helped even more. Now it's almost completely degraded, which breaks my heart because I love some original vinyl floor cloth, but that helped a little bit. So this will be the first part of the house that we're actually rebuilding. We're hoping to get started on that this week, getting this rebuilt, sheared up, and get a new roof on it. One more bedroom. I said I was only going to show you one, but I'm the big fat liar because it's too cool. You want to see it? Oh look, a trash can with water in it. What? A trash can with water in it in this house? Say it ain't so. So, last bedroom. Now this room is one of my personal favorites because of the wall color. You can see that this wall was originally this absolutely amazing lilac color. And this is one of my favorite colors in the entire world. And this is a really common application in homes of this period. The plaster was actually tinted. This isn't painted. The plaster was tinted and then applied, and so the color never shifts, it never falls off. And what you see here is people have tried to paint a latex-based paint over plaster. You cannot paint latex over plaster. You can't. It doesn't work, obviously. It may work for a little bit, but it's gonna do this. So if you guys have homes with plaster walls, know that you need to use an oil-based sealer before you paint them. I recommend actually doing a tinted plaster over skin, and that's what we're gonna do when we eventually get around to getting these walls repaired and redone, is we're gonna use tinted plaster over skin. So, that's Louise's floor plan. I hope that was kind of clear for you. I know this video was completely scattered, and I'm very disappointed in myself, and I'm sorry, but you've got people just like wandering up on your porch wanting to come in and take a tour of the house, and they see you talking to the phone and they think they can just wander on in, and then you've got workers with 20 million questions, and if they don't realize that I'm not talking to myself, I'm actually talking to my 40,000 new friends. So, thank you for loving Louise. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for helping us save her. You have no idea. I know you guys had questions on the video, and my precious husband, who is holding the phone, has not been reading those to me, and that's fine. I'll try to go back and look at it and answer some of those for you guys later. Follow along. We're going to be posting more photos, more videos, more fun stuff today and through the week as we're here getting her going. We love you. Thank you. Thank you from Louise.